Hi, my name is Erin. My channel is all about finding a healthy relationship with media and how can we use that for good in our social interactions and not as a detriment to our mental health. I want to thank you all for sharing your ideas on my last video about what kinds of boundaries have been helpful to you. Some of those that were shared were things like turning off notifications on apps. Other suggestions included setting a timer per day. Another boundary that I thought was really insightful was reminding ourselves that social media is not real life. So with those ideas said from you all who were very kind to share, I wanted to share some of my thoughts that I generated after reading those and thinking more on how and why boundaries have not worked for me in the past. So I have created 3 boundaries that I'm going to hold myself to, and I hope will maybe inspire you to create something similar or give you some ideas on how to foster your own mental health and healthy relationship with social media. The first type of boundary I want to start is intentionally leaving my phone behind. I want to make it a practice, whether that's once a week, once a day, to intentionally leave my phone out of certain activities. Something about the space helped me feel fully disconnected from it, and I think that can be beneficial in minimizing addictive attachment long term. This isn't always an option, or at least a safe option, since you don't want to end up needing to call someone for help or even call 911 or, have GPS if you do need directions. So maybe this is as simple as working out without music in a YouTube video, or going on a neighborhood walk with someone else and leaving your phone behind. The second boundary I want to institute around social media is to refocus my ideas on boundaries to adding, not subtracting. Instead of framing my boundaries around all the time I shouldn't be spending on social media, I would rather frame my boundaries around the idea of meeting a quota for quality. This could be direct messaging a friend to ask how she's doing, or exploring ideas for a new hobby, or sharing at least one of the videos I watched on YouTube with someone else who might enjoy it. I heard about this concept first in reference to eating healthy. It's harder to stick to a healthy diet when we focus on all the things we can't have. It increases our cravings and feelings of missing out. Instead, if you think about adding healthy foods to your diet, you'll start to be grateful and excited for those things that you get to enjoy and add, and they will naturally begin to replace the unhealthier options and cravings because they are more satisfying. The third boundary I want to begin is taking regular fasts from media. Maybe this is once a month, once a week, or a daily thing, but I think if I am more diligent in fasting from social media, I might not become so addicted that I have to take extreme measures, like deleting social media for over a year and becoming extremely disconnected with everyone I care about there, as I have done in the past. So out of these 3 boundaries, I tried to narrow down how can I apply these specifically. So the first way I personally want to institute leaving my phone out of specific activities is I want to leave it out of my bedroom. Part of this is because it's not exactly safe to leave my phone out of activities outside of the home, because the city I live in is not the safest. So I think that by leaving it out of my bedroom, I can create a space that I associate with disconnecting from media. Second, one thing I want to add to my social media life to create a healthier relationship with it is I want to have a policy that every time I go on social media, I will interact with at least one personal friend, just to really foster use of the good sides of social media instead of just trying to avoid the bad sides. And lastly, in terms of instituting a regular fast from social media, I'm going to choose Sundays as my day of rest from social media, where I'll really just disconnect from all the app. If you want to pick up any of these boundaries or anything similar or inspired by these, let me and other viewers know below. We can all be encouraged by each other's desires to have more fulfilling relationships with media, and maybe you'll have a better idea than I had, and I can maybe pick up what you thought of. I appreciate you all so much and hope that you benefited from these topics in some way. and can use the things I've talked about and heard from others to foster health and happiness in your relationship with media.